Hello guys. My name is Arman Kapoor, and I'm a UC Merced student, undergraduate student, majoring in computer science and engineering, and I have a minor in management, analytics, and decision making. I'm here with a group with my team from Q Project. Q Project is a club on UC Merced where we deal with STEM education in young children, as well as STEM education and skills that we hope that everyone should learn before going to um, the job sector. And so, what we have done this summer, we have hosted a virtual academy, which our team members at Q Project, who are also UC Merced students, have so graciously volunteered their time during the summer to instruct high school students on topics of STEM that they can use outside of the classroom and learn skills that are not usually taught by instructors or teachers at school, and use these skills to further their projects, their personal projects, build a portfolio as well as resume for the future and for their jobs after college. So I just want to give the floor to Jessica Lopez. She's the secretary of Q Project. I'm the treasurer of Q Project, and she just wants to give her view on the virtual academy. She's an alternative member of the Q Project. She did help out with the virtual academy, but she was not directly an instructor for the high school students. And I just wanted to get her opinion on the virtual academy as a whole. So, Jessica, why don't you go ahead?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Armand, for that introduction. So yes, my name is Jessica Lopez. I'm the Q Project Secretary. First and foremost, again, like Armand said, the Q Project is the professional development organization on campus that works to strive and show and all the skills that everyone has, including both STEM and any other majors that are on campus. The virtual academy did go closer to working with students in high school. I believe that to keep their privacy, I actually was in charge of doing media. So I was doing a lot of background work with the media release. I also did some tests that were supposed to happen, but unfortunately weren't able to happen. But the virtual academy was aimed to close the gap between unprivileged students and students with low income that would usually not get a step ahead in STEM as other students would. The virtual academy helped close the barrier for students who would not likely have a step up in STEM. We did a lot of workshops that was done virtually because of the situation, but was professionally managed and was able to excel in the way what we thought we were going to get to, at what point we were going to get to into the workshops and cybersecurity and LoRa networks, things that usually a lot of students don't see. So this was a great way to motivate students, to get them interested in STEM, and to also show what each facilitator, each instructor had under their sleeves. Again, we are undergraduates, so a lot of the times we don't get the credit, but this was a way to show that, hey, we know what we're doing, and hey, here you go. So yes, thank you, Armand.
Well, thank you, Jessica, for that opinion. So, I just want to give a little background into the virtual academy and how it began to come out this summer. So there's this program on campus called the Center of Educational Partnership, CEP, how I refer to them. So CEP, they basically go out to high school students, reach out to high school students, and create different educational programs that help them go from high school to college and get them interested in stuff like STEM or just getting a college degree in general. But the problem with this was that this summer, since everything went virtual. The CEP did not have any virtual resources or virtual programs they could implement, and so they asked for Q Project's help. So what CEP did to help us was that they provided hands-on materials that we can use during our workshops or virtual academies, so that um, students are able to learn through hands-on learning, not just through another video lecture on Zoom. And so this was a big step for low-income students um, as part of the high school program or part of this program. And we were just really helpful and very excited for this program to be hosted by the Q Project. So we have 3 different virtual academies which we hosted for a different group of students. So there are 3 of them. The first one was cyber. I hosted the cyber workshop along with Solomon Denning, who is also here as well. We have the LoRa network, which stands for low cost long range network. We were talking about how the LoRa network comes to be and how you can send messages through the LoRa space. This was hosted by Solomon Denning, as well as Ramiro Gonzalez, who's also here with us. Last virtual academy was the Arduino Virtual Academy. This was hosted by Jesus Perez, who's here with us, and Silvano Romero, who's not present at the time. And so I just want to go through each of the different workshops and explain what each of these instructors had to do and how they felt about it. So I'll go ahead and start with the cyber workshop. So I've been hosting many cyber workshops, as you may have seen on the YouTube channel, and we've been doing it for, me and Solomon have been doing it for about 6 months now. Every week or so, we would host a topic of our choosing, and we would present our findings to the public or to UC Merced students. And we just wanted to share topics to make everyone more cyber aware, especially during this remote virtual time. And so what we did, we came up with a series of workshops that were targeted towards high school students, and we gave them Raspberry Pis so that we could give them actual hands-on learning experience on topics of cybersecurity. We had them crack into the Raspberry Pi. We had them set up different services on the Raspberry Pi which they could use, and this was done all through Zoom. And this was all virtual. As you may know, because of the COVID situation, it had to be virtual. And even though it may have sounded like a lecture at times, I believe that the students have learned a lot because of the hands-on devices that they were given. And we just wanted to get an opportunity to do this again because I believe there are many students who could learn from this. And because cybersecurity is such a big issue nowadays, I just want to give the floor to Solomon Denning. He has also been working on the cyber workshops for the high school students during this virtual academy, and then he can proceed to the LoRa network, which he also has helped on. So Solomon.
All right. Yeah, hello. I'm Solomon Denning. I am also a student at UC Merced, majoring in computer science. And as Armand was saying, I was helping lead and do some of the lesson plans for the cyber and the LoRa Academy. Yeah, with the cyber, we were focusing mainly on the Raspberry Pis, teaching the students different ideas that they could learn, like security, malware, and all that. And something that I noticed was that the students on days like Wednesday, we had set up as like an office hours check-in day. And the students would ask a lot of questions that were beyond what we are learning. So it showed that they had interest in what was going on and they wanted to learn more about what it was. And so, yeah, some of the questions were like questions I didn't even know how to answer. So you just kind of had to like give them resources on how to go find what it was that they were looking for. So it just shows that these students in high school, they have, or they're able to want to go out and learn more and more beyond just what the lesson plans are. And in the LoRa Academy, it was a little more of a struggle because LoRa isn't something that everyone's familiar with. But I feel that as the students, they were able to learn kind of like a basic overview of what LoRa is and mainly what IoT is, information or Internet of Things. And that's going to be something that becomes way more mainstream in the future. So they'll most likely see more of these ideas when they grow up. And with that, I think that's kind of all I wanted to say on that part.
Thank you, Solomon, for your input. That's fine. Well, that was a great insight in that, Solomon. I also thought that the high school students were pretty engaged in learning, and I just want another opportunity, or just hopefully we can expand operations next time and bring this virtual academy to other students, a larger group of students. And I just hope that everyone would has this type of opportunity to learn from us, learn from their peers, which would be us, their own generation, instead of a generation behind them who may not have the same learning experiences as we had with them. So I want to go to the next workshop, the next academy, the Arduino Virtual Academy. So Jesus took lead on this, and I would say that he was a pretty good teacher, a good instructor, because I heard lots of good feedback about him and how he strove to help the students along with the technical problems, because his workshop was the most technical in terms of wires and different Arduino boards. So Jesus, do you want to give us some insight into that?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, my name is Jesus Perez, and I actually graduated from UC Merced, but like Armand was saying, um, along with Silvano, I was the one instructing the Arduino Virtual Academy. Um, yeah, so I believe it was somewhat it went pretty good. Um, so because the students had their own kit at home that they could practice, and then I would go ahead and set up either like a second webcam directly pointing at the Arduino and then the wire. So I would kind of go step by step, just setting up the physical wiring or whatever sensor we would use during the week, and then also the coding part. So Arduino is a great way to get I guess introduced to low voltage electronics as well as coding. But yeah, these students they I think in the Arduino section I think we had like 6 or 7, but I think the majority of them were um, they learned a lot. Of course, we had some difficulties, but I would have hoped that we were able to tackle all of those through online somehow, email, or just we had like a forum where if you needed help, you go ahead and just comment. But yeah, uh, we had 4 kind of like mini products, mini experiments, I guess, one for each week, and yeah, there were some students that were able to do it all. I was impressed myself.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus, for that insight. Um, I agree that many students had surprised all of us. They were asking questions. They're asking a lot of questions, like Solomon said as well. They were pretty engaged. They were learning. they actually were able to do stuff instead of just listening to a lecture. They had equipment which they didn't have to pay for. Um, they were provided by CEP. And we taught them skills that they could use to actually build the products and use them in a very educational environment type of way. And so I just wanted to end this talk with some hopes I have for this virtual academy. I hope that this virtual academy can expand its operations and expand it so that every student would be able to attend this virtual academy, would be able to learn from our virtual academy, and we hope that we can do this next summer as well. We have posted the current virtual academies on YouTube, or we will be, and we just want to improve on this for next summer and hopefully get to a point where we're actually hosting large academies in person after this COVID business, of course, which would provide high school students direct exposure from eye contact to body contact to equipment contact, and just teach them everything about STEM and get them interested in engineering and STEM. So that's my closing argument or conclusion that I want to share with you all. And I just hope that education does not falter away or does not filter out during these hard times. And our team has worked so graciously hard to provide these type of skills to everyone during these hard times. And I just want to thank everyone for having such great initiative in creating a learning environment for these underprivileged low-income students that may have not gotten a chance if it was not for us. And I hope that we all have made at least some type of contribution, more of a driving force to bring them, not to take them away from the streets and into STEM related fields, as well as hopefully college. And that's where I want to end. So thank you for coming. Thank you for all your viewers. And don't forget to like and subscribe and view our virtual academies, and hopefully you'll learn something too.